Hi, I'm live. We are live on the internet. Internet. Hey. So I haven't got a title, as you can see. I'll put one in as we speak. Yeah. It's definitely turning winter. It's a lot darker now at this time than it was even last week. It was lighter at this time. So, well, it's autumn, not winter. It's autumn, isn't it? But it feels wintry. It feels the winter is around the corner. Winter is coming. It gets dark about 4 in winter, doesn't it? Anyway, yes. Hi, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I haven't got a title yet, but it will come. And I will type it in when it comes. Yeah, so welcome. Yeah. I quite like not having a title and the title coming as we speak. Oh, I'm not even charged. I'm not even charging the laptop. Good thing that I looked at the battery symbol. Oh, excuse me. So no words are coming at the moment, so feel free to say something in the chat. mean, I don't really have anything to speak about. And I tried to think about non-duality, like the pigeons like fly away. Imagine like pigeons flying away, scattering, leaving nothing, like leaving nothing but everything. I just feel like this subject doesn't really have language. I mean, it has language, but it doesn't have language. Like it, in the end, it's languageless. I feel like it's the person or the mind that's trying too hard. The intellect that's trying too hard to capture this, to understand this, to make sense of this, to work this out. But this is already worked out. It's already complete. It's already as it is. It's already perfect. It's already worked out. I remember the mind thinks it's in for a treat. You know, it's excited at the prospect of this enlightenment or this awakened thing, and it's excited and on its. It has its. It wants to be fed. It wants its food. It wants the journey. It wants the timeline. It wants its story. It wants the adventure. It wants the heartache. But what is really wanted? What is really wanted? Like what is really longed for? Like underneath that, underneath the mind wanting its adventure and its story, what is really wanted and longed for? That is what I feel non-duality is. It's that which is longed for. Not wanted, but longed for. And it seems like we go through all these different twists and turns, all these adventures and all these things we think we want and the mind wants. And yeah, it's funny at some point. It's like it's worn out or something. And like, what is? I laugh at the funniness of it, but it's like, what is actually what's it? Rather than all the spiritual highs and all these different like awakening things you can experience, like all these things you hear about, and all these arguments and disagreements and all these things. It's funny. what is what is really looked for is that exhalation, that, oh my god, like that exhalation, that giving up, that surrender, that like fuck it all. Fuck all that. Like forget all that. Like I feel like there has to be that exhaustion. Has to be exhausted to the max. It has to be exhausted to the max. for that exhaustion or that surrender to happen, that simplicity to reveal itself, or what is actually wanted, the simplicity of that longing, the simpleness of that longing, the naturalness of that longing to emerge or be revealed. It's not something in time that is wanted. It's not something in the mind that is wanted or the intellect that is wanted. Which in our society is crazy because there's so much you could want and attain and have and experience. And with our intellect, there's so much you could imagine and project and want. And that's, in a way, the beauty of the human experience. That we get to play. We get to explore and play. That dream happens. That mental, conceptual dream happens of being someone. And all the plays that can happen for that someone, to that someone. And that someone can try to remedy its life, try to perfect its life, perfect its environment, perfect its behavior, perfect its understanding, perfect the body. You can try in so many different areas to try to achieve what it thinks it wants, what it thinks it needs, what it thinks it's looking for. You can try to achieve it in form, in its own story. And then to come across non-duality, if the human's lucky enough to come across non-duality, and to begin to take that into the dream and begin to imagine that's what it wants. If it could only have that, then it would arrive, then it would feel complete and feel love and have that peace it's longing for, that wholeness it's longing for, that simplicity it's longing for, that rest it's longing for, that freedom it's longing for, that at-homeness it's longing for. And non-duality, that's why it's so beautiful, non-duality, because yes, the person will, or the mind will try to take it in for itself and add it to itself, to try to become that and to try to have that. But the beauty about non-duality is you hear it, you know beyond knowing, you know that question that this is it. Like I felt so this subject was it. I'd found that the golden, no, the Holy Grail. I found it. Like this was it. That resonance with it is like this is it. You feel that magic of it, and the mind takes it into its story, tries to get hold of it, tries to grab it, tries to have it. But the beauty of non-duality is, even though the mind's trying to do that and doing that, non-duality is shining there freely. It doesn't matter what the mind's trying to do with it. Non-duality is shining there. Non-duality's revealed something that is out of the person's realm, out of the person's usual reality, the mental reality. It's revealed something that the person can't grab hold of. That is the beauty of non-duality. But the mind can't get hold of it. The person can't get hold of it. And on that process, it's like fuckery to the person. The person's like, I can't get it. It's trying so hard to get it. So it isn't a positive thing maybe to the person. It's a frustrating thing maybe to the person. But it's ungraspable or unhavable. But this is the beauty of non-duality. This is the shining star of non-duality. Hi, Dorth. Hi, all one. Yeah, so maybe that's the introduction. I see why people don't necessarily like non-duality. I can see why it sounds really harsh or really dispassionate. Is that a word? Dispassionate or uncompassionate and harsh and not helpful. And I can see why it's seen that way to some or a lot of people that know about it. I can see why. And that is sad. That is so sad. But yeah, I can totally see why. And it is sad. It is sad. It is sad. About that, the heartbreak and the suffering. And there's looking for the answer, looking for the remedy to that in something for me, in the personal reality. And what this is speaking about is not the personal, it's beyond the personal, it's freedom from that. That's why people do point to other things like therapy, like healing, like other aspects that can help the emotions and the traumas and the other stuff. Yeah, but non-duality is, that's why it's so beautiful. It's not smeared with the personal. It's talking about beyond that construct, and that's why it's so free and so beautiful. And that's why it's a resonance thing. Like you hear it spoken, and it's speaking to something. It's speaking to the naturalness. It's speaking to this freedom beyond that mental construct of someone, that sense of separation. It's speaking about freedom, about the natural state, about the illusion or the impermanence of thought, the transientness of thought, and how what is here is free. It's still, it's not going with the thought. It's free. Thoughts appear here. Movement appears here. Time appears here. It's flipping the identification from the movement to what is always here, what is always free. It's not a placeness. But yeah, it's such a radical thing to point to. It's a radical thing to point to. because all the movement, all the ingredients are about time, about thought, about constructs. And so it seems so radical to point to the blank paper, the canvas, the canvas on which the painting's drawn on. People are like, no, red and blue and yellow and black, and the canvas, this pure being, this isness, this formlessness, which is here, this stillness which is here. This stillness which is here, which can't not be here. And this remembering of that, this waking up to that, this unplugging from the movement, this unplugging from the thoughts. And it really isn't a rejection of thoughts or a blank canvas where there's nothing happening. Like this, there is. Life is full. Life is everything. Life is happening. Thoughts and emotions and appearances are happening. Behavior and ideas appear. But it's this unplugging from them. This I'm going to say remembering of this waking up of that which isn't contained, limited to that, to any form. And it can sound really massive and big, but actually it's such a simple, it's a naturalness. It's going back to like the natural, the way it already is. It's so funny, so funny. But it's also not funny, but it also is funny. It's beautiful. And it's painful. And it's miraculous. And it's nothing. So feel free to ask anything in the chat box. Ooh. Hello, hi Kelly, thank you for your videos. They have been really helpful to me. A question I would like to ask is about the link or connection between humans, animals, and non-duality. Hi, vegan natural living. Humans, animals. The link or connection between humans, animals, and non-duality. Right, I see non-duality as everything. So non-duality, yeah, it's everything. Humans, animals, non-human, non-animal. It's everything. So that is the connection. But it's not these separate things. Like looking through the eyes and feeling as if you're looking through the eyes as a separate entity, a separate thing, then everything else seems like it's a separate thing as well. So you're comparing I here, this body, compared to that animal or that thing or that thing. That cup, that laptop. And although that's the way it is, like you can acknowledge that there appears to be a separate laptop and a separate animal and bed and cup, and you can acknowledge those things as seemingly separate, looking separate, experiencing as separate. The perception of separation of things, objects, that's seen to be on a like a superficial level, like on the perception level, like on the vision and the feeling of the objects, how they look, how they appear, and the thoughts saying this is this, that is that, the thoughts separating and dividing and labeling. So it isn't an end of that functioning. That is the way the human brain functions. But it's a waking up of that which isn't. It's a waking up of that which isn't. It's a waking up of like the illusion of those thoughts and ideas, of those perceptions. Yeah, they're relatively true. The phone, the bed, the cup, the animal, but it's a waking up of that which is beyond that level of functioning. It's not a mental understanding. It's not another thought knowing it. It's a it's a waking up beyond that. I'm laughing at the human functioning, how it continues to be human. It's just funny. We imagine all these different things of being this like, oh, we're all one. Oh, everything's one. Like this imagination of it is so funny. How in the end we're human. We're human, and that's the way it is. And it isn't a human. It isn't a waking up out of human. The human is the human. It's waking up beyond the human. The human still functions. That's impossible for the mind to understand and to grasp. Thank you for your question. So yeah, that is the link. The link is that there is no separation. It is the same. It is painful to seek, but even more not to. If there is nothing to do, how can one possibly wake up to reality? It is painful to seek, but even more not to. It's probably painful to try to not seek, yeah. Trying to hold back and trying to resist. That is, yeah, that's painful. If you try to not seek, that's painful. If there is nothing to do, how can one possibly wake up to reality? No one's saying there's nothing to do. That's something that I don't know who's saying that to you, but there's nothing to do. I don't know if I've said that. I might have done that, but I don't think I have. I think that's just picked up. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have heard that, but maybe that's like picked up. We imagine that's what's being said. There's nothing to do. So we take this message personally and think, oh, I'm the doer, and now I'm hearing that there's nothing to do because I don't exist. So yeah, it's possibly a miss understanding or mishearing of what's being said. I can't promise that, but I've never heard anyone saying there's nothing to do. So in that case, how can one possibly wake up to reality? Well, if you mean one as in how can one as in a person do that, then they can't wake up to reality. It isn't you as an entity waking up to reality. It's a waking up that happens beyond you, beyond this illusory you, beyond this illusory idea of you. So this idea that you can wake up or you can't wake up, it is not what's being said. What's being questioned in non-duality or exposed in non-duality is this idea of you, this idea of someone separate. This person you may think you are, this person who you're claiming to be, this is being questioned. This is being undermined, maybe. Or the possibility of that being undermined. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to wake up. There's nothing wrong or bad about it. And probably that's a natural want that arises, that you want to wake up out of separation. Hence, you watch probably videos and go to retreats and so you're wanting to wake up, you're wanting to become free. But the waking up happens beyond you. It's a waking up beyond you of what's here, what's awake, what is free already. That's waking up. Not this identity of someone. So yeah, it's a pickle for the person. It's a pickle. So it's a real pickle for it. But it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like it all has to be seen through. That whole construct of someone. It just has to be seen through. We're so quick to want to get in there and get our hands dirty and work it out and fix it and resolve it. But it really isn't about that. We're so addicted to that. Fixing the story, giving it a happy ending. It really is the best subject. It really is the best subject. Best subject. Oh. Well, thank you so much for joining, and I shall see you again soon. Thank you for the questions in the chat, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Lots of love. Thank you. Bye.